We are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. The content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. The content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, Let's try this again. Hello and welcome to Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes and I love technology. If you love technology too and you would like to join our team and help us with technology, I would be more than happy to talk to you and see if you are a great fit for our team, because it's obvious I need help. I'm not afraid to admit it. I love what I do, and this is like my focus. And then you get this technology stuff in that I know how to do, but I don't love it. But yeah, so welcome everybody to Daily with Doc. And if you are here because somebody invited you, make sure that you get back with them and thank them. the information that you're going to be hearing in the next 50 minutes or so is empowering. It's something that you yourself can do all on your own without getting permission from really anybody. Give yourself permission to feel the difference of what it feels like when you give your body the 90 essential nutrients plus, if you're already sick, and allow it to thrive, not just survive. Because folks, we are not chemical deficient, we're nutrient deficient. And when those nutrients are no longer deficient going into our body, the body is happy, absolutely happy. Dr. Wallach, I got a video this morning from somebody that I've been talking to for a couple months, and she's showing me her Tangy Tangerine and she's mixing it up. She actually put it in a post that she put on Facebook, and she says, I can't believe it's only day 2, the difference that I feel. I didn't really believe that I was nutrient deficient, but this proves it. 2 days, she's feeling a difference, Dr. Wallach. I think that's absolutely incredible, but it's, do I have to say it's not typical? Because it really is for many, many people. You give your body what it needs and it starts to thank you right away. I know it did for me. I know it did for many of our co-hosts that are on with us today. It's just absolutely incredible. But with that being said, I do have to let you know that this program is meant for educational purposes only on the importance of supplementation and nutrition and the foods that you put in your mouth and the ones that you really need to avoid. Our food supplies around the world are null and void of minerals. There may be some vitamins there, but minerals, unless the minerals are intentionally put into the soil that they're grown in, there is not an abundant supply. And they're, like Dr. Wallach says, they're like veins of gold and silver. And that's exactly what it is to our body, gold and silver. We deserve absolutely the best. The content of this program is not to take the place of your primary care physician, and our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. But folks, as empowered individuals, we can choose to put ourselves first, to realize the value that we have in us, especially mamas. We're taking care of so many people. If we don't take care of ourselves, who's going to be around to take care of them? You deserve the very best. And folks, this is what we're presenting to you today. And one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics, which if you're not familiar with epigenetics, epigenetics is this science that proves that the previous theory of transfer of disease that they just kept blaming on genetics is incorrect. You yourself are empowered of what is going to happen within your body throughout time, throughout the years. If it's something like a birth defect, so many birth defects are not genetic. They are because mom and dad didn't have the nutrients they need in order to create this human being with everything that they need. So let's be empowered. Let's change the trajectory of the health of our communities and just become stronger and stronger. And that includes mental illness, folks. Well, Dr. Wallach has been studying plants and nutrition since he was 9. He's now almost 84 years old. So he's been doing this quite a while, folks. And what he has found and what he has been teaching has changed very little over the decades. So it is my honor and privilege to bring to you Monday through Friday from noon to 12:50 Pacific time, again, Monday through Friday, Dr. Joel Wallach. Dr. Wallach, Welcome, welcome, welcome to Daily with Doc.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, and thank you, team, for all being here and for that great introduction. You've said it all. I just appreciate that you have become, what should I say, a legend in your own time, because you are getting this information out to everybody. And of course, it all kind of started with dead doctors don't lie. And you have to appreciate that medical doctors are very good about giving you treatments that very quickly relieve pain and symptoms, and people are just overjoyed and happy. And that's why they've been able to keep going for so long. People love their doctor because they relieve pain. But the disease continues to get worse because the prescriptions that relieve pain don't get rid of the disease. They just relieve pain or inflammation, swelling, which gives you more function in your joints and that kind of thing. My newest book, The Wallach Revolution, is a 75-year journey from 5 years old till now. And this just is about 3 months old, okay? The Wallach Revolution. And it doesn't have all my 600 discoveries, but it does have many of the what should I say, the more dramatic ones. And then I also like the book Hell's Kitchen, okay? Because it goes through the transition from, and this is very scary, it goes through the transition of going from the wood and coal as fuel, when we were using the wood ashes and coal ashes as fertilizer in our gardens, and the vegetables and fruit and berries and things are growing in our gardens, and grains are growing in our gardens, we're going to sucking up all these minerals. And to make a long story short, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, Paul Revere, Thomas Edison pulls the switch on the first commercial electric generating plant in New York. And so he named this book to be Hell's Kitchen, which is a district in New York City where all the bad things happen. And we switched to electricity, and we built dams, hydroelectric dams, shut off the flooding and shut off the renewal, because when you would flood, when the floodwaters would go away, it would leave silt from the mountains, which were minerals, and the farmers would plow those back in. So food grown in the bottomland were extremely nutritious, and they were renewed every year because it would flood every year. Well, once they put up the dams for hydroelectric, that ended all that. And suddenly now we had all these problems. We also, which they say, when you look at Hell's Kitchen, you have to take responsibility, because the doctors are not taught to cure diseases. They're taught to make you happy by relieving pain and giving you more mobility and that kind of stuff. And you hear better, they give you hearing aids. Well, why do you need a hearing aid? Well, you may have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the auditory branch of the atrial nerve. Okay. Why are you losing your vision? Well, you're just getting old. I'm only 38 years old. Why am I losing my vision? You're getting older. Got to expect that. No, that's because you have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the optic nerve, the optic artery, and the optic vein. And then why do you get up 3 times, 5 times, 10 times a night to urinate? I drink so much water. No, it's because you have osteoporosis of the skull squeezing the spinal cord, and your spinal cord is telling your urinary bladder to urinate. And that's what's happening there. So you have to say, okay, let's sit down, go through all this. And this is why we have the book. Okay, it's all in your head. This is very dramatic because there was a CD that Beck and I did to go along with it. Okay, and this book goes through 37 different diseases that people get when they have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, there you go. Top skull, the calvarium, the skull cap has been removed. You're looking down on the brain, but the skull is only a quarter of an inch thick. And then when you go up, there you go. When you cut the calvarium off the skull cap, when somebody has osteoporosis of the skull, and you're looking down on the brain, you can see that the skull is 1.5 to 2 inches thick, and it's squeezing the nerves, okay, the 12 pairs of cranial nerves, including optic, not optic. Let's go to the vagus nerve, cranial nerve number 10. When that nerve gets squeezed, you get an irregular heartbeat, and doctors say, oh, you have atrial fibrillation, we got to anesthetize you, cut you open, take your heart out, put hot branding irons on your heart to try and find the places making your heart beat irregularly. It's not a heart issue, it's the skull squeezing that 10th cranial nerve. And when you actually get that treatment, okay, with those hot branding irons on your heart, it's the most deadly of all medical treatments. You do not want to get an ablation. They call it ablation. You don't want to get that, okay? Now, thank you, Becca. All right, so this is stuff, it's written in common lingo. And then, of course, we have the book, Immortality, which goes into, we spent 5 years dealing with the data from long-lived cultures, why it is they live much longer than we do, why they don't have the diseases we do. They're human beings. Well, that's because they live in places that have all these minerals in the soil, and their food contains these minerals, and they don't even have to think about it. The Hunzas in the Himalayan mountains, their life expectancy is 120. Our life expectancy in America, we're supposed to have the best healthcare system in the world, and our life expectancy is 73 to 75, depending on whose data you're looking at. The Hunzas, with no medical doctors, is 120, because they're getting all these nutrients from the Himalayan mountains, okay? And then, of course, we learned about minerals. This, of course, came about a long time ago when they were using sea salt as a product to sell inland from the coast. And they were realizing that people who had goiter for years and years and years and years, they started using sea salt and their goiter would go away. Now, they knew it had to do with the sea salt, but they didn't know what it was in the sea salt that made the goiter go away. And so that was the first kind of realization that there was something going on there that we needed to pay attention to. All right. And so it's one of those things where if you do these things on a regular basis, you're going to save an enormous amount of unnecessary misery. You'll save an enormous amount of money, which everything from your healthcare costs to taxes and funerals and all this kind of stuff. We spend on Alzheimer's disease, very simple nutritional deficiency disease caused by doctors, $305 billion a year just to treat the symptoms. Alzheimer's disease did not exist until 1910, when medical doctors got people off of cholesterol because they were blaming plaque in your arteries and plugged arteries on cholesterol. So people stopped eating eggs, they stopped eating animal fat, and they took statin drugs to lower cholesterol, and oh, suddenly now they had Alzheimer's disease. And then they had arthritis. Arthritis is not due to old age. It's due to, again, nutritional deficiencies. Osteoporosis due to nutritional deficiencies, not old age. And $626.8 billion we're spending every year in America alone just to treat the symptoms of arthritis, which is osteoporosis of your joints. And we have osteoporosis of the long bones, your ribs and your vertebrae and that kind of stuff, your skull. We spend $2.3 to $3 trillion a year just to treat the symptoms. So combined, it's over $3 trillion that we're spending each year to deal with arthritis and osteoporosis. Type 2 diabetes, that's kind of wild. Type 2 diabetes, we have 96 million pre-diabetics in America. Type 2 diabetes is not a genetic disease, it's not an autoimmune disease, it's a very simple nutritional deficiency. And that nutrient, well, there's actually 2 nutrients involved. Those 2 nutrients, you don't find them equally all over the world. There's some places where they don't even have the word diabetes in their vocabulary because they never heard of it, okay? Because they have lots of those minerals, because they live where volcanoes pump out the ashes which have those minerals in them, okay? So right now, there's 37.3 million cases of type 2 diabetes in America, 11.3% of our population, 96 million pre-diabetics, holy moly. And the annual cost for dealing with type 2 diabetes in America is $342 billion just to treat the symptoms, not to prevent or cure it. Heart disease, we spend $316.8 billion. Obesity, we spend $260 billion. And obesity is just a simple nutritional deficiency causing pica, which causes people to eat and eat and eat and eat. High blood pressure is $131 billion. MS, multiple sclerosis, kind of a cousin to Alzheimer's disease, also a cholesterol deficiency. We spend $85 billion. Asthma in kids, we spend $80 billion. We spend $80 billion a year just to treat asthma in kids under the age of 10 in America, okay? Not to prevent it or cure it. But if we give them all these nutrients, okay, just like we do in animals, farm animals, because we don't have the ability to pay veterinarians to come out every week and treat all the calves and cows and so forth. And so we learned that if we put these nutrients in the animal feeds, they don't get these diseases. So that's why when I was 9 years old, I realized that let's try doing what we did for animals for people, and by golly, it worked. And so this is something which is the greatest gift you can give to somebody, is give them these books, sit down and talk with them, get them started on the program, get them started on our Rebound or sports drink with 100 nutrients in it. The other sports drinks on the market have maybe 1 mineral. Magnesium is usually the one that's in there. We have 75 minerals. Okay. And so these are the sort of things that we've spent a lot of time, money, and energy making sure that we're doing everything correctly, maximizing the benefits you're going to get. And again, these things go away. They're not genetic. They're not autoimmune. Osteoporosis goes away very quickly. Arthritis goes away very quickly. Type 2 diabetes goes away very quickly. I take people that, dialysis, high blood pressure. They've been on dialysis for high blood pressure and kidney failure 6 days a week for 10 years. Okay, we put them on our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. We give them the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day. And in 2 weeks' time, they're urinating. So they drop their dialysis rate from 6 days a week to 3 days a week. And in 2 more weeks, they're totally off of dialysis. And they go back to a normal life. After 10 years of not urinating and being on dialysis, and of course, they're on dialysis for three days a week for 10, 15 years before that. Okay, this is very simple stuff. And so now people are losing their jobs. They don't have their access to healthcare insurance anymore. Okay, and so this is not a difficult decision to make. You put oil in your car. You don't put dirt from Texas in your car. You put transmission fluid in your car. You don't put dirt from Texas in your car. You put gasoline in your car. You don't put dirt from Texas in your car. Okay, you put the antifreeze in your car. You don't put dirt from Texas in your car. And so you have to treat yourself as well as you're treating your car. And then you will add 25 to 50 healthy years of your life. You're going to save yourself an enormous amount of unnecessary misery. You'll save yourself an enormous amount of money. Okay, and I'm going to turn this back over to you now, Becca.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. That was a lot of information, folks. And I know Dr. Wallach speaks very quickly. So if you're not ready to listen quickly, and if you don't write even half as fast, you may have missed a few things. Well, I bring extra good news because the replays from this program are available on YouTube. Go to Critical Health News. Make sure that you are following us there. Rumble, if you're a Rumble follower, follow us again, Critical Health News. Or if you are on Facebook, look for Critical Health. And you can follow us on Facebook also. And we have almost all of our most recent, let's do that, most recent shows are on those 3 platforms. You can always go to our website, dailywithdoc.com, and find the replays that are going back. It's like 2 years, 2 3/4 years, Dr. Wallach, that we've been doing these programs, starting out with the Ask Doc Live on Fridays, where we did 2 hours, and then we've transitioned into Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:50 p.m. Pacific time. If you're on the East Coast, that is 3 to 3:50 Pacific time. And yes, 3:50 sounds kind of weird, but Dr. Wallach, he has a schedule that is bam, 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 bam. So we have to give him a little bit of time to get to his next program and make sure that there's no technical issues getting on that one either. So with all that said, Dr. Wallach, we have a full house. I'm excited to see so many people here in the Zoom room with us. And folks, if you have a question that you would like to ask Dr. Wallach, go ahead and raise that virtual hand and we will get to your question. We try to get all of the questions that pop up here in the live Zoom. And we also go to YouTube where people are asking questions, and then also through text messaging and emails. So there's so many different ways to get a hold of us. If you were not referred to this program by somebody specific and you would like to speak to a health coach and you've never spoken to one before, feel free to use that contact us on our website, Daily with Doc, and I will make sure that you get in contact with one of our certified holistic health coaches that is available. And I try to make it in your area too, so we don't have to fight with time zones. We are around the world, Dr. Wallach. I think that is absolutely fabulous that we are reaching and teaching around the world. That is so fantastic.
Thank
That's one
you.
of the best things I love about technology, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even have to get on an airplane to do it.
Wow.
So, but that takes all the fun out of it. So anyways, let's go real quick to YouTube. And YouTube, we have, it's kind of a testimonial and then goes into a question. So I'm taking the Brain and Heart Pack, and she's been taking it for 2 weeks. And I know I lost weight very quickly, Dr. Wallach. I lost 20 pounds in 3 months. This individual has lost 35 pounds in 2 months. And I think that is absolutely fantastic. But she is wanting to know, or he is wanting to know, and I'm hoping that they get back with the person that's been coaching them and ask them this question also, but let's get it from the man himself. How much Tangy Tangerine and OsteoFX and EFA Plus and selenium are we supposed to be taking, Dr. Wallach? So if we're doing per 100 pounds, and we're looking at the Brain and Heart Pack, just that, I'm going to say that foundation, that's the biggest hammer in the box.
Okay.
What are your recommendations?
Okay. Somebody that, let's just go by 100 pounds of body weight. If they weigh 150 pounds, I'd treat them as a 200-pound person. Okay. But 100, go for 100 pounds of body weight, get rid of all the bad foods. And that's where you want to get a hold of the book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods, 300 pages of safe recipes and cooking methods. There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty thick.
Yep. And that alone will add many health years to your life. And then one healthy brain and heart pack. It has 215 nutrients in it, including 115 fruits and vegetable and berry extracts, that kind of stuff. But it has the 90 essential nutrients. And so I want you to take half of 100 pounds, a half a dose of everything in there at breakfast, half a dose at dinner time. And then especially you should be exercising, that sort of stuff. So you also need to be taking the rebound. Again, I like 2 servings a day per 100 pounds of body weight, and 200 pounds of body weight, still just 2 servings a day of the rebound. We have the sticks, we have the powder, we have the cans. The cans do have carbonation in them, so you do have to pop the tops the night before you're going to drink them the next day, right? And
did you cover the EFAs and the selenium? Let's stick with the brain and heart pack.
Okay, I'm getting there.
Okay.
Okay, now the selenium is in a bottle of selenium is in the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, but again, it doesn't hurt to get an extra bottle of selenium. I only weigh 142, and I take 3 selenium twice a day. Okay, and I'm taking 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs a month, so I'm getting everything twice a day, including that selenium. And then when you're looking at what else did you want to know about other than the selenium?
The EFAs, but
Oh, the EFAs.
while we're talking about selenium, Dr. Wallach, the selenium that you're talking about is not just selenium.
No, that's true. Our selenium is a special blend of selenium and 5 other cofactors, but these other cofactors do things that kind of assist selenium in its job, as well as do things that deal with problems that commonly occur coexisting with selenium deficiency. And so that's why we put all those other nutrients in there in our selenium. Our selenium is much different than everybody else's selenium. Okay. And ours is not ground up rocks. Okay. And you can read the labels and it tells you where it comes from and so forth. It's very, very unique stuff. But then again, we have the
EFA plus?
The EFAs and EFA pluses. Okay. The EFAs are from things like berries and rice and that kind of stuff, and seeds, and not grains, but seeds like sunflower seeds and so forth. And then, of course, the EFA pluses that come from fish liver, okay? And we don't like to call them oils. They are essential fatty acids. Oils are very dangerous. So we don't like to say, oh, we have the essential oils. No, well, essential oils are essential oils. Those are things that are aromatherapy oils and that kind of stuff. It's a totally different category. Yeah,
Those are in tiny little bottles like this that you mix in something else and then you take the lid off and just go.
So when you're talking about the essential fatty acids, they're required by every cell in your body to make the membranes of the cell walls function properly. They also are used inside of every cell in your body, okay, to support the immune system, to support maintenance repair, to support function, and so forth. And some of the dramatic deficiencies of omega-3 essential fatty acids and omegas essential fatty acids are asthma in kids under the age of 10. Okay, we spend each year just to treat asthma in kids. Okay, this is scary. $80 billion in America just to treat asthma in kids. 80 billion. Okay, that's just to treat the symptoms. Now, that's not getting rid of it or preventing it. And this is just a simple nutritional deficiency disease. So it's so important. And this is why we have the book Dead Doctors Alive. This is why we have the book The Wallach Revolution. This is why we have epigenetics, which is a summary of my 5,000-page book, which is in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. Okay, epigenetics. My thesis sells for $25,000 each. This sells for $25 each. Okay, so most people are going to go there, and that's me. A picture from Yerkes Primate Center when I discovered the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, supposed to be a terrible genetic birth defect, which is really just a simple nutritional deficiency. And when I told them it was a nutritional deficiency and we could prevent this and cure it, they fired me. And that's when I went back to school and became a physician, because I knew that we were not going to agree on it much because they thought everything was genetic. And so it's one of those things where who knows how the good Lord works, and did the good Lord, why did the good Lord pick me to understand cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy?
I know why.
Why?
Well, one of the clues is by looking at this picture, Doc.
Mhm.
A lot of people say, oh, he's like so strict. But when you look at this picture and this little guy here who wasn't told how to look at you, and you've got that natural connection, that's a caring heart that's in this individual. And not just caring for this little monkey, but everybody who has blood running through their bodies.
Yeah. Now that little monkey represented every kid in the world, every human kid that had cystic fibrosis. Okay. And so that's why I was just enraptured with those monkeys, because they had cystic fibrosis. And it turned out that the dietitians at the Yerkes Primate Center at Emory University had taken away all of the monkey pellets, because the adult monkeys were pulling the hair on the babies, and the babies were pulling the hair on each other and everything like that. So they took the pellets away from them, just put them on fruits and vegetables, and they all got nutritional deficiencies. They had all these different things going on, including cystic fibrosis and muscular dystrophy and so on. And so that's one of those things where I was put in a place where I was able to see a system that went haywire. Okay, they got off the rails, and it showed us things, and I was given the gift to be able to see it and understand it.
Definitely a gift, Dr. Wallach. And I love the fact that we're continuing to be able to spread that gift, the knowledge, because your research went beyond that lab where you were working with those little monkeys. It went like over 27,000 autopsies
Yeah.
worth of research.
And
that
federal courts, and 8 federal courts.
And 8 federal courts. That's right. Victories in 8 federal courts. That's pretty impressive, Doc. Well, let's go ahead and go to hands. And the first hand that I see here up is Willie. Willie, go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm going to go ahead and bring you on camera here, and welcome to Daily with Doc.
Morning, Doc.
Hello, how can we help you? You have to speak up, Willie.
Right, sorry about that.
That's better.
I've got
But
this-
get closer to the microphone.
I've got this dry cough in the mornings that's persistent. It just goes on. It has gone on for months and months. And later, which lasts for about an hour or so. And then later in the day, it turns, at bedtime, it turns to quite a mucusy cough.
Mhm.
Just wondering what's going on. I'm on all the products and so on.
Okay. Now, do you have any ringing in your ears, any tinnitus or ringing in your ears?
I do. I've got industrial deafness, which has caused a lot of that too.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, the reason why I'm asking that is because the when you have osteoporosis of the skull, it squeezes the 12 pairs of cranial nerves, including the ninth cranial nerve, the glossopharyngeal nerve, which causes problems with swallowing, taste, your voice changes, and so forth. And you have osteoporosis of the skull squeezing that glossopharyngeal, the ninth cranial nerve. How much do you weigh, Willie?
66 kilos.
66 kilos. Okay, so you're looking at maybe 150 pounds, 155, 160 pounds, something like that. Okay, so I want you to get rid of all the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat and rye oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. That stuff's got to go. And then I want you to, at 160 pounds, to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Full dose everything twice a day. Then I want you to have 2 bottles a month of our MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time, and they will support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae, bone, makes bone, and cell. I also want you to have the collagen peptides. Take a scoop of that in your morning drink, scoop of their evening drink. That'll be 2 of those little canisters per month. Then I want you to have vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. That'll help you absorb the minerals and put them in all the right places. And then I want you to use our Rebound or sports drink. Okay, you can have 2 doses a day, but make sure if you're using the cans, you want to pop them at night and put them in the refrigerator so they're flat in the morning. Otherwise, during the day, when I travel and during the day, I want to grab a quick one. I take our sticks. There's a complete dose of the Rebound in each stick. There's 30 sticks in a box, and then we have the canisters. Okay, and let's see here. I think that'll cover a lot of stuff. And do you have any high blood pressure or diabetes?
No, I don't.
Okay, good. Okay, we'll start there, and then give us a call every couple of weeks. And it wouldn't hurt, you have white hair, gray hair. This is not due to aging; it's due to a nutritional deficiency. Okay, you get on our program, as I've just described, your hair color will come back. I have people that they had white, gray, and silver hair for 40 years, and in 2 weeks' time, the hair color starts coming back, and in 6 months' time, they look like they're 20 years old again. Okay, so you do these things. Your body has a capacity to heal itself, but you do have to take these things forever. You can't just take them until you're feeling a little bit better and then you quit, and then you'll be back down in the hole again. Okay. Okay, back to you, Becca.
All right. Thank you so much, Willie, for joining us here today. And Dr. Wallach, one thing that I took, because I know for myself, with the changes of the seasons, I would get a lot of mucus and pressure in my sinuses. And I added in what Longevity has and is called the Seasonal Immune Pack. That is absolutely fantastic. I have customers who actually work in sawmills who would suffer all year long. And we got them on that seasonal immune pack, and that was able to clear up all that congestion. And
Now, is that the 90 as well as the other stuff?
Of course. Yeah, so we did the 90 essential nutrients. In fact, the one person I'm thinking of is on the brain and heart pack and added in that seasonal immune pack with some Z radical also. And they're like, I never thought that I would be able to go a day without feeling like I had a sinus headache all year long.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, that was just a little bonus to one of the products that Dr. Wallach may not be familiar with all the products that Longevity offers.
We have 5,000 products.
Well, I know, but Dr. Wallach, I use 25 of them on my face and in my hair. You don't use that many.
No.
And I don't expect you to know about those. So there is one thing I'm a day late on, Dr. Wallach. I'm a day late, and Marilyn, not my co-host Marilyn, but another Marilyn who is watching, very consistent supporter of your message, loves you so much. She says, please make certain he knows I sent this message to him. Happy Doctor's Day, Dr. Wallach. And that was yesterday. So I didn't see this until after the show, but I wanted to make sure that I shared that message from her with you. And another question that she has, Dr. Wallach, has to do with sciatica. I know that one.
Mhm.
She wants to know what could help sciatica. So if somebody's dealing with sciatica, what are the reasons that sciatica may be an issue?
Okay, it's called sciatica because the sciatic nerve is being squeezed. Okay, the sciatic nerve is the 10th cranial nerve. It's being squeezed up in the skull when you have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, and also you have osteoporosis of the vertebrae. Okay, and it's also squeezing the sciatic nerve, and so you get all kinds of stuff because there's branches of sciatic nerves, as it's traveling down towards your tailbone. And so when you get sciatica, usually people get identified with sciatica when they have low back pain issues and stuff in their hips and their legs and tingling down in their toes and that kind of stuff. And they never relate it to the brain. I don't know if doctors do that purposely or they're just ignorant and they don't get taught the anatomy. Okay, that this cranial nerve goes all the way down to your toes. Okay, and so it's one of those things where you have to treat the osteoporosis of the skull, you have to treat osteoporosis of the vertebrae, you have to treat osteoporosis of the hips and the knees and so forth. Otherwise, the doctors will be joyful and giving you a double knee transplant, double hip transplant, and that kind of thing, cut your legs off, give you artificial limbs and so forth. And really, it's just osteoporosis of the skull squeezing that 10th cranial nerve.
All right. And I know that squeezing, because when people don't think about referred pain. I mean, that squeezing is somewhere other than where the pain is.
That's correct. Yeah, the skull is squeezing the nerve as the nerve is coming out of the skull, but you're feeling it down in your lower back.
Or down through your
shoulders.
shoulders, into your fingers, in your wrists, in your ankles, in your knees, in front of your knees, down your buttocks. Yeah, those sciatic nerves and all of those nerves throughout the body. You either love them or hate them, Doc. Yeah,
they're the branches of the sciatic nerve. Of course, that sciatic nerve is a branch of the 10th cranial nerve. Okay, the vagus nerve. That same vagus nerve causes the heart to beat irregularly, atrial fibrillation, and so you got a heart thing going on high up. Swallowing problems, the 9th cranial nerve. Okay, glossopharyngeal nerve. All these things are going on because of osteoporosis, and you're going to ear, nose, and throat doctors. You're going to joint specialists and everything. They're giving you painkillers and crutches and all this kind of stuff, but they're not getting down to the nutritional deficiency cause of the issues. Okay, because if everybody were taking all the 90 essential nutrients, how many knee replacement surgeries would there be? None. How many kids not go to college because their parents couldn't afford to send them to college because they don't have all those surgeries to do? Huh.
Well, Dr. Wallach, I know what we're doing can make a huge impact in the world. So let's just keep on doing it.
Let's keep on doing.
Another 60 years at least. Well, so Ushe has a question, and it refers to something that you mentioned in the opening. She said, if frequent urination is not related to a lot of fluids that you're drinking each day, then why would somebody have to frequently urinate? If they don't have the fluids in them to get out, why would they have frequent urination?
Again, because the skull is squeezing the spinal cord, and the spinal cord is telling the urinary bladder to urinate, and the urinary bladder tells you to urinate, you urinate. And this causes all kinds of stuff because you're losing more nutrition every time you urinate. You're getting dehydrated and so forth. And just drinking water will not replace all the mineral elements that you're sweating out and urinating out. Okay, so your reserve of elements in your body are going down, 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 down. So not only is getting up 3, 5, 8, 10 times a night to urinate, or that happens during the day too. Okay, gosh, every hour seems like I need to run to the bathroom. That's because your skull is squeezing. Okay, the spinal cord, and the spinal cord is telling your urinary bladder to urinate. And every time you kind of bend in a certain position, you put pressure on that. Uh-oh, I got to run to the bathroom. And then you'll, say, I better have some water here. You drink more water, but are you getting more minerals? No. Unless you're consciously, proactively supplement, you're not replacing everything you're urinating out. And so this is why people, when they have these issues, you can predict that in 3 to 6 months or a year later, they're going to have some catastrophes happening. Okay. Fractures are really severe problems in their joints and so forth, that you're begging the doctor to give you an artificial knee or something. Okay. It's one of those things. And so these things occur not by accident, not by genetics, not by autoimmune. They're caused by deficiencies.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And a quick question from Jill. She says, can we recommend for somebody, or what can we recommend for somebody who has swelling under their eyes all the time? So I don't know if that's like puffing, just frequent puffiness, or if it's like bag swelling type thing. So I know that there's a lot of things within the body, like the lymphatic system, that can get plugged. Would that cause swelling of the eyes?
That could be the lymphatic system. It can also be the, again, the skull squeezing the cranial nerves, the facial nerves, okay, that kind of stuff. The optic nerves, the optic artery, the optic vein, and the optic nerve get squeezed by the skull, and you have osteoporosis of the skull, and causes all that swelling around the eyes. It can be fluid, it could be just puffy, what should I say, not fluid necessarily, but it could be just a baggy skin, okay, because they're not having all the nutrients for the elastic fibers to tone up that skin. Or it could be that, again, the arteries and the veins are being squeezed by the skull, the optic nerve, the optic artery, the optic vein, so that the circulation around the eye as well as in the eye is going away. And so that's why all this eye stuff is going on. So these are red warning lights on the dashboard. You just can't say, look in the mirror and say, oh gosh, I guess I'm getting old, and just forget it. You got to really get on these nutrients, get off the bad stuff, and pay attention here, and start looking for the other things, because the other things will pop up. They may have already popped up and you're not paying attention to them. So you need to sit down and go down the list and say, do I have this? Do I have this? Do I have this? Oh yeah, I have 3 of those things, and I didn't even pay attention to them. And so this is why we come up with these books and CDs and DVDs, because we can't be everywhere. And you have your circle of family and workmates and associates and church mates and so forth. And so we knew in the beginning that we were going to have to raise an army of people that got the same access to the same information, same knowledge, and the same supplements. And so that's why we came up with all these books and CDs and DVDs and so forth, and lectures. And now it's a blessing. They have all this technology now. I mean, yesterday I was in the Philippines. Today I'm going to be in Australia.
Yesterday, Dr. Wallach, you were in the Philippines and in California and in Michigan all at the same time.
Well, there you go. There you go. And so we're doing what we can do. And so we're looking to build an army, and we pay very well. And so, if a few extra bucks can help you, the tax deductions, off the square footage you're using out of your house, whether you're renting or buying, same thing, that same percentage off your utilities and so on. You get a lot of tax breaks when you run a longevity business out of your home. you get a lot of tax breaks. And you'll get, if they're withholding taxes from you because you're working someplace and they're withholding taxes and giving to the IRS, you'll get a lot of that back at the end of the year when you do your taxes, because you have all these records of everything that you're spending, okay, to run your business out of your house, you know, your office, your warehouse, your meeting room, your utilities, and so on. There you go, and your own personal use of products. So those can all be part of your business plan, that your Young Jimmy business is going to pay for your supplements, okay, and so forth, and then it becomes tax deductible.
Yes, it's pretty nice, folks. It really is. And you can get Dr. Wallach's books, which are resources that I use every day, knowledge that got me started. His books are also part of the curriculum of the health coach certification course that's offered by the Institute of Holistic Health. So if you are interested in learning more, wanting to get deeper into the 4 areas of health, how they're affected by minerals, deficiencies, and non-deficiencies, then you might want to check out the Institute of Holistic Health's Certified Holistic Health Coach program. You can go to coachwithbecca.com and get more information about that. But if you were referred by somebody specific, get back with them. Ask them if they know about the health coach certification course, and they may have their own link to share with you that gives you information as well. So Dr. Wallach, we're coming up real close to the end of our time with you. And Kathy has a question here. Kathy, go ahead and unmute.
Hello, Kathy. How can we help you?
I want to know, like what, like, is it okay to drink milk?
I'm sorry, I missed that. Is it okay?
Is it okay to drink milk?
Oh yeah, milk. Milk is one of God's greatest creations. Every mammal, whether an elephant or a walrus or a whale or a human being or a monkey or a buffalo or a wombat or a rabbit, every mammal, vertebrate mammal, okay, uses milk to raise babies. Milk is perfect food. I'll repeat that. Milk is the perfect food. And so there's nothing wrong with drinking milk when you're 200 years old. Okay, nothing wrong with that.
All right, thank you so much for that. And we do have several hands up, Dr. Wallach. Let's see if we can get one more real quick.
Yeah, we got to do a quick one. One more.
Yep. Do you have a quick little question for Dr. Wallach?
Yes, hello. From JD Man in the chat, he said, are there guidelines as to when to take supplements, such as in the morning, the evening, with or without food? Are there guidelines?
The guideline is you take your supplements with food. And remember, whatever your dose is, I prefer you to break it up so you're taking half your dosage at breakfast, half your dosage at dinner time. If you're a 300-pound, 400-pound person, you're going to be taking it 3 times a day. You'll take a third of your dose at breakfast, third of your dose at lunch, and third of your dose at dinner time. Don't take it all at once, okay? You want to spread it out, and you want to take it at the beginning of each meal. You take a few bites of food, get a little food. So you start with your digestive enzymes and all that kind of stuff happening, the process of digestion. And so then you start taking your supplements. Don't take them, you know, in between meals. Don't take them before you go to bed, that kind of stuff. You take them with your meals, okay? So.
All right. Thank you so much for that question.
Okay, I apologize. I do have to run.
You do have to run, Dr. Wallach. So thank you so much again for joining us here on Daily with Doc today, folks. Dr. Wallach will be back on Monday. So make sure that you come back and visit with us as well Monday. If you have questions, I love whenever it hits the wrong button. But if you have questions that did not get answered today, you can always go to dailywithdoc.com. We do have that contact us option there. You can submit your questions there. And we have a team of certified holistic health coaches that are going through and working through these questions as they come in one by one, and we try to get them in the order that they were received. So if I could get my co-hosts on with me, and Farhan, I know you had your hand up. I'm sorry we didn't get to the question that you had today. Well, we have Marilyn Pizarra Spear, we have Farhan Nasir, and also Ruth Ellen Sanchez as our co-hosts today. I could not do this without them. And I love the fact that they have volunteered to use their skills to help make this program a success. And again, if you have skills that you would like to contribute to a great purpose in getting information out around the world, get back with the person that invited you to this program. If there's nobody to thank, go to our website, dailywithdoc.com, use that contact us and let us know that you have skills that you would like to put to use for a greater purpose. And until next time, and well, even now, my name is Becca Dukes. I'm so excited to have you here with us each and every day. Hello to those of you out in YouTube and Rumble and Facebook. Go ahead and put your comments in there as well, because we do have people that help monitor those comments and get questions answered. But the best way is through our website, dailywithdoc.com. Until next time, bye for now.